This is a reaction to what retired Chief Justice Maraga Commission presented on police reforms. I totally agree with them. I totally agree with them. There's nothing I don't agree with them. I agree with them totally. And this is what we have been waiting for decades. There are several things that they recommended. First, that the education level of police officers be uplifted to C-. I would recommend that the education for police officers be reviewed upwards to C+. But there is a problem with police officers having C+. There is a running problem between the police and the National Police Service concerning police officers with C+ and above. This police officer would want to work at or near a university. Then this police officer will study for a degree. And after attaining a degree, this police officer will demand a salary equivalent to that of an inspector. So that is where the problem of a C+ is. They have placed it at C-, which is okay. So you may find there is a secret, a hidden hand, that you may go to line up as a police officer with a B, and somehow you are rejected. It is preventing future problems. Having a B in future, you'll find yourself studying privately for a degree and starting to demand higher salary. And the vote for salaries in police is fixed. So this idea of placing police officers with C-, I agree with it. On one hand, you have educated people. On the other hand, they are not so educated as to in future demand higher pay. I have worked in the police force. You find somebody semi-literate, this is the problem we have been having in the police. You have a semi-literate police officer, handles the case, he opens the file, he does whatever, and a criminal who is learned and maybe a lawyer, or even if he's not a lawyer, he has a very good lawyer, the case ends. That is where extrajudicial cases come in. Police are sure that so-and-so is a criminal, and they cannot take him to court, so there is. But in the future, we are going to have educated police officers who are going to, I support that. The other thing that I support is this issue of amalgamating the Kenya prison services into the national police services. I don't know which angel visited Maraga that night. It is a very good idea. I don't know why the Kenya prison was never integrated in the first place. Look at the police officers. And when I talk about police officers, I'm talking of 3 police officers. One is the general duty police officer, commonly known as Kenya Police. 2, the Directorate of Criminal Intelligence detective, that is a police officer. 3, the General Service or ASTU. And 4, the Administration Police. These police officers arrest somebody, they prosecute somebody, they follow that person up to the conviction. The arresting officer is a police officer. The investigation officer is a police officer. They arrest somebody, they convict somebody, and that is the end of their contract with that person. There is no follow-up to see what happens to the person you jailed. Maybe you are only interested after he completes his long-term service and comes back to reintegrate with people. And you meet him telling him, ukiteleza nitakurudisha huko. On the other hand, there is this prison's police officer. Yes, he's a police officer. This prison's police officer, he has nothing to do with a criminal. Actually, I'm told that once you are convicted, he tells you, wakati ulikosea watu, mimi nilikuweko. Si hukuweko. Wakati ulishikwa, mimi nilikuweko. Kotini si nimeletewa hapa na nimepewa wewe muda fulani, nitakuhandle vilivyo mpaka siku ile utamaliza kifungo. These two have two sides of the coin, and it is better for them to integrate with the other side. The police officer out there, who I said therefore, the General Service Unit stroke us2, the DCI, the general duties, whom people call Kenya Police, and the AP, should have a knowledge of those people they take to jail. On the other hand, the police officer who is in prison should also have access to people out there. So this decision, by this advice by Maraga, that they integrate at least, to start with, at the gazetted officers level. That is a very good idea. One is gazetted as a police officer. Then, first of all, they attend the same course. So, their syllabus has to be changed. You see, the prisons, gazetted officers attend a course which happens on handling. Both are criminologists, but this one on the other side of the coin, they study how to handle a convicted criminal. And the other ones attend a gazetted officer's course to keep peace, to maintain peace out there. They should be integrated so that after graduating from both of them also attend a degree in the Kenya Defense University. It is called NDC, or there is NDC, the National Defense College, which has now been converted into the National Defense University. Kenya Prison, Kenya Police, military, and NIS and others attend that. So why don't we have an HTC, higher training course, specifically in a place like South Sea, for gazetted officers? And when you complete the you are gazetted by the National Police Service. And in that class, you'll find some ending up in committee as gazetted officers there, others ending up in GSU, others ending up in AP. Yani, when you're attending that course, nobody knows where you'll end up. I would want to do that. And then maybe after 2 decades, they reduce it to inspectorate course, especially direct entry inspectors. The subordinate officers to inspectors course may be the last one to be taken for a simple reason that this is an NCO who has worked in the prisons or police service for up to 10 years. So, akona UAP sana, akona GSU sana, akona GD sana, akona prison sana. But in future, we should even have a recruit training school for all of them. And then NCOs training such and such a thing. And then we come to the place for flags. If I had powers, the AP head badge ni ile munaita crown. The AP head badge should be removed and made similar to the others. You may have noticed that the prison's head badge and the other arms of the police head badge are similar. You have to be very careful to know, because the prisons one is not written utumishi kwa wote, but the head badge is the same that you can never know. So the prison should also adopt a similar head badge. What we are going to have a difference is the cape and the flags. The cape, I suggest the prisons continue putting on the green cape. The GSU continue putting on maroon cape. The AP continue putting on black cape. And the GD and the ASTU continue putting on the blue cape. Then we come to the flags. The general duties Kenya Police should maintain the flag they have, the blue one. The prisons should maintain the flag they have, the green flag. The GSU should maintain the maroon flag. No, very few people know about it, that the GSU have their own flag. It is similar to the Kenya Police, only that the background of the Kenya Police is blue and the one for GSU is maroon. The AP should adopt also a maroon flag, such that, or a scarlet flag, so that you don't confuse that with the GSU. Lastly, the county police commander should not be called commissioner of police. He should be called commander of police. And then the head of prisons should not be called commissioner general. He should be made a deputy inspector general and have the same badges of rank as that one of the head of CID, the head of general duties, which people call GD, most people call GD as Kenya Police, and the head of AP. We have had members of the Kenya Police head AP. I know of two. There is Ruben, I can't recall his name, is Mukamba. He was the PPO Nyeri and was made the commissioner. Ruben Mutua. He was a PPO Central and he went and headed the prisons from Saikwa. Then we have Hezekiah. He was the PCIO Nairobi area. He was made a long-term prisons commissioner and he died recently. In the AP, the current head of the AP is a GD person. Just like what the government has done in the NIS. You know, NIS, they reached a place and then started placing their military generals from the Directorate of Military Intelligence. Now they have gone back. Hussein Haji is a career intelligence officer. We should have the same with the police, such that the four arms, the administration police, which I recommend that it should not be named administration. They are no longer with the administration. They should be called auxiliary police. Auxiliary police. Now the auxiliary police have a DIG. The DCI have a DIG. The general duties, whom people call police, the GD have a DIG. And the prisons have a DIG. Can we also have a TENGE rule, whereby in future gazetted officers will be so big that you cannot associate one with a certain service. But in the meanwhile, can we have it such that the Inspector General is rotated? Like Javed Kome is from the GD. The next one we have a career AP. The next one we have a career Kenya Prisons. My viewers, that is my small part of advice that I could give, and I think it is best for our country.